Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to tackle a word that sometimes makes people nervous: accounting. But trust me, it's not about being a math genius. It's actually a super powerful tool. Think of it as the secret language that every single successful business has to speak.
All right, to get what I mean, let's jump right into a little scenario. Picture this. You did it. You finally opened your dream business, a cool little coffee shop you're calling Morning Brew. It's the end of day one, you're tired but excited, and you go to count the cash in the register.
And there it is, $500. So here's the big question. Was your first day a success? I mean, it feels like it, right? $500, that's not bad at all. But is the cash in your hand really the whole story?
Yeah, you've probably guessed it, that cash is just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. To really truly know if your business is doing well, you need a way to see the complete picture, not just the money you can physically touch. You need a system, and that system is accounting.
So, to solve our coffee shop puzzle, we need to learn this new language. And that's exactly what it is, a language designed specifically to talk about the financial health of a business, turning all the chaos of a workday into a clear, easy-to-read story.
And this is where that famous saying comes from. It's not just a clever phrase, it's literally true. Just like we use English to share ideas, businesses use accounting to tell their own story, a story about making money, losing money, growing, all of it. It just translates everything into a format anyone can understand.
Okay, let's get just a little bit formal for a second. The key word I want you to notice here is process. Accounting isn't some big, scary book of numbers. It's a living, breathing process that has 3 really clear steps. And all of them are designed to build that complete financial picture we were talking about.
Let's break it down with our coffee shop. Step 1 is identifying. You just have to spot anything that involves money. Selling a latte, buying more milk, yep, that counts. Step 2 is recording. You write it all down in order, like a financial diary for your business. And step 3 is communicating. You wrap all that info up into simple reports that help you make smart decisions. See, not so intimidating when you lay it out like that.
So, why bother with all this? What's the point? Well, it's because this language helps every business owner on the planet answer the most important questions they have.
You know, the big stuff, like are we actually making a profit here? How much cash do we really have on hand? What does the business own? That super fancy espresso machine? That's an asset. And what does the business owe? You know, that bill for the fresh coffee beans? That's a liability. Accounting puts all of this in its proper place so you know exactly where you stand.
But here's something you might not have thought about. It's not just the owner who needs to understand this stuff. All sorts of people, both inside and outside the company, are depending on this information.
You can basically split them into 2 camps. First, you have your internal users. That's you, the owner, or your managers. You use this info to plan for the future, like deciding if you can afford to hire another barista. Then you have external users. These are folks on the outside, maybe an investor who's thinking about putting money into Morning Brew, or a bank that's deciding whether to give you a loan. They all need to speak that same financial language to make their decisions.
All right, theory's over. We've got the basics of the language down. Now let's head back to Morning Brew and that $500 sitting in the till. It's time to finally answer our question and figure out what really happened on day 1.
Okay, first things first, let's look at the money that came in. You sold 100 cups of coffee and you charged $5 a pop. That gives us a total revenue of $500. This is what's called the top line. It's all the money you brought in from sales. But as we now know, it is definitely not the whole story. Next up, we have to subtract the money that went out. You know, the costs of actually making that revenue. These are your expenses. You had to buy $100 worth of coffee beans, and you had to pay $50 for the electricity to keep the lights on and that espresso machine humming. That's a total of $150 in expenses.
And now, the moment of truth. You take your $500 in revenue, you subtract your $150 in expenses, and there it is. Your actual profit for the day was $350. That's the number that tells you how successful your first day really was. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's so easy to see that cash and think you're rolling in it. But accounting is what keeps you honest. It's the reality check that reminds you, hey, don't forget you still owe the power company and you're going to need more beans for tomorrow.
So in the end, that's what accounting is. It's not about numbers for the sake of numbers. It's your financial reality check. It's the one system that can take all the messy, complicated stuff that happens in a business and turn it into a clear, simple story.
So let's do a super quick recap. What's the meaning of accounting? Well, it's just recording and summarizing all your transactions. Who are the users?
everyone from the owners inside to the investors outside. And what's the big goal? Simple: to give people the clear info they need to make smarter financial decisions. That's the whole game.
See, once you understand this language, you're in control. You can see what's working, what's not, and where your business is actually headed. It's the key to building a real sustainable future. So the only question left for you is, what financial story are you going to tell?